Hi everyone, straight to the point. Little Haiti used to look like this. In my mod, the Backstabbers Blues, it's going to look like this. Let me tell you more. It all started with the idea from the member of my Discord by the name of DT. He's absolutely a blessing and I'm the luckiest man in the world to get him on my server because he's easily the most knowledgeable person on the internet when it comes to Miami and the 80s. So this is his first message on the server and I'm showing it in full just so you can also enjoy it. It's basically a chest full of treasures. Every idea here is amazing, but one particular idea captivated me. Apparently, there was a red light district in Miami and it was placed in Little Haiti. Little Haiti in Vice City is a notoriously underdeveloped area, and I jumped to the opportunity to make it more memorable. If you ask me, Red Light District is a perfect area for any game that focuses on crime. It has strong identity, it adds to the overall atmosphere, and it feels comfortable being surface level. What do I mean by surface level? Well, let me explain. Let's say you want to put a theme park in your game. Amazing idea, it seems very easy, right? You just find an empty spot and put some fun rides there. However, that's not enough. They all need to be operational, otherwise theme park would look abandoned. Okay, you made them operational, which is a very complicated work by the way. Now the player wants to use them too. So you make them interactable, which is also a very hard job. Now you need to populate the area. You need to create some rewards for the rides, some side missions, some special currency to pay for it, and to win, well, in the end of the day you just ask yourself, did I really need a theme park in my mod? It is not the case with Red Light District at all. Red Light District is something player just passes by and says, hell yeah. Nothing else. No additional coding, no interactables, no nothing. You just driving in the rain, neon is everywhere, and you like, hell yeah. But it also makes complete sense lore-wise. This area in Vice City is the exact same area where Vic did all the pimpin' missions in Vice City stories. It had brothel owned by Cholos, brothel owned by Trailer Park Mafia, then brothel owned by Vic. In Mission Got Protection, Vic saves the girls all across this exact area. In the universe of the game, this is canonically a place where prostitutes work. So what do we know about Red Light District in Miami? In real-life Miami, Red Light District looked more like a tourist attraction and was placed on Biscayne Boulevard, which was even dubbed AIDS Boulevard. In Vice City, Biscayne Boulevard is supposed to be this street, Bayshore Avenue, basically the main street in the whole city. Now I have to make a disclaimer. I wanted to take inspiration for my mod directly from real-life Miami, but after doing some research, I realized that it's absolutely impossible because Vice City has very little to do with the actual Miami. Anywhere you go, Little Haiti, Little Havana, Alapata, Brownsville, it's just vast spaces and bungalows. No alleyways, no warehouses, no apartment buildings. So I realized early in the development that recreating Miami is not the goal here. The goal here is to improve Vice City. That being said, I didn't just go completely off the rocker. I tried to reference some landmarks from real-life Miami Red Light District of the 80s, as well as using real-life photos as textures. I just love this kind of textures from the old games, I'm not gonna lie. They don't look realistic, but they make the city more alive, you know what I mean? But overall, I want to be very clear about it, I wasn't going for the real Miami look. I was going for some Liberty City, Carcer City, Cottonmouth kind of vibe. It's different enough from the rest of Vice City, it suits the purpose, it makes the area more memorable, and most importantly, it's cool as hell. Who wouldn't want to visit Liberty City while cruising around Florida? Come to think of it, Miami has an actual Liberty City in it, but that's beside the point. It was really important for me to make my Red Light District feel completely different from the rest of the city. I wanted player to feel like they're in the ghetto, they're in a bad neighborhood. There are no flashy neons around anymore, everything is dark and even the scarce sources of light instill anxiety. To achieve the different artistic effect, I used a different technical tool. In Vice Beach, I used Time Object to create neons. After a certain time, new model appears and make the city look more colorful and bright. In Vice City Ghetto, I used Vertex painting. When it's daytime, you see a normal model, which is painted like this. But after the darkness settles in, game loads a completely new model that looks like this. The difference, in my opinion, is dramatic. Look for yourself. But that's not all. I illuminated the area with different light sources using 2D effects. That's how it looks on technical level. You just set up coordinates based on the original object. And that's how it looks in the game. See how lands or your car are illuminated? But my favorite part is this one. One of the axes is blinking, creating this cool, unsettling feeling. Sorry for being cocky, but I really feel like a true artist doing this primitive stuff. I enjoy it so much. Now, since we're trying to make the player feel not welcome, what could work better than some sleazy alleyways with graffitis? Gangs and hoodlums are marking their territory. I always felt like ghettos in GTA universe are way too clean. In modern day world, you cannot even step outside without seeing some tag on the wall. As you can see, in the Backstabbers Blues version of Vice City, you'll see a lot of graffitis. Some of them belong to gangsters, some of them belong to nobodies, and some of them are just trying to be artistic. When I evaluate someone's work, any kind of work, I always look at one thing and one thing only. What goal did they set for themselves and how far did they push to achieve it? So I try to get a little out of my comfort zone while working on the red light district. And this is definitely my favorite part. Look at this. So simple to make, yet so memorable and cool to look at. What kind of red light district is this without some girls dancing in the windows, right? Or for example, the adult cinema. I decided to create some fun posters for all the adult entertainers we know in GTA universe, and surprisingly, we know quite a lot. Candy Sucks has a movie that Sergeant Martinez watched in Vice City Stories. I called it Hole 69 Barnyards. El Burro has another donkey hit that I called Donkey Business Stable Income. And Rennie is keeping her promise on starting a career in Europe and already released a spy thriller, Transcontinental Switcheroo. But there are also some other details here and there. More signs in Haitian Creole, because I feel like it wasn't represented well in the original game. The Drink Sprunk neon from Vice City Stories is broken down. This bare-bones building now has stairs and a pusherman dealing there. The alleyways is widened to allow access to new area we discussed in previous video, but the skyline is still blocked by the wall, barbed wire and dirty laundry, so player doesn't feel too comfortable. And since we're talking about previous video, here's a little shortcut stunt jump referencing City Groves once again, based on the real Lemon City drugstore, by the way, that could easily be placed in this building. But as much as I like the surface level of Red Light District, it would be just plain wrong to not allow you to visit any of the places. Don't get too excited though, this is a family show, so no adult theaters or brothels. Instead, the famous White Stallions bar is now reopened under a new management as Croc's Bar. It's owned by Haitian criminal, and as much as he wants to turn it into a fashionable and cool place, he's still very much in touch with his home country and its politics. You can see political posters wishing death to Duvalier regime, which will happen exactly this year by the way, and some Haitian landscapes in the new area that was not available in the Vice City Stories. Of course, if you remember my game design philosophy, every interior should serve a purpose, so you can always have a drink of tea punch in Croc's Bar. Of course, these sleazy places cannot be visited in Vice Beach pastel suits, you need to look the part. I reopened Rough and Ready streetwear shop in Little Haiti. Why do I say reopen? Because it was clearly supposed to be usable in original Vice City. You see, the door for it is a separate object, ready to be removed after a certain mission. However, Rockstar probably figured out that no amount of clothing will make Tommy Vercetti look Haitian and abandoned the idea completely. Well, Lance has no such issues. The store itself is focused on local use and not a stranger to political ideas. However, unlike more mature Croc's Bar owner who witnessed Duvalier regime personally and is pretty open about his hatred of it, Haitian youth of Vice City is more interested in US politics. For those who don't know, there was an actual conflict between Cubans and Haitians in the 80s. But unlike Vice City, it wasn't gang-related at all. Cubans were given the status of political refugees because they escaped Fidel Castro's regime. Tony Montana even brags about it in Scarface.
I'm a political refugee here, okay?
However, Haitians who escaped Duvalier regime were not considered refugees and were deported. Those of them who stayed protested on the streets demanding justice and equality. I took some of the real banners from these protests and adapted them for our clothing store, as well as some real-life graffitis to decorate it. The last interior is a small one, but very useful. It's a shortcut from the junkyard to the seaside. I shamelessly stole the idea for it from Shine of Ice mod, which I consider to be the best map for Vice City ever existed. Of course, I didn't steal the asset. Shine of Ice used the model of Sindaco Abattoir. Or is it Abattoir? English is my second language and French is not my language at all. In any case, I used the model of Sindaco Casino Chips Factory. I don't know why, but this area just attracts some Sindaco business savviness. Regardless of the ownership, now you can always visit the seaside that Rockstar tries so hard to hide from you. There are also small additions and references here and there. For example, this area now has a little park in it, and pedestrians even come here to sit on the benches. Or this wall here has a so-called sign art. It was very popular in the 80s in Miami thanks to the artist Serge Toussaint. I could not use his name in the graffiti because I had to adapt it for GTA Universe, but I referenced him in the barber shop nearby. I also added another section of Romero's Butchery, now with actual 3D meat bags. And welcome my first ever inaccessible interior. I feel like an actual game developer now, creating something just for players to never use. I feel like an adult. But as much as I want you to appreciate the Backstabbers Blues maps for new interiors and areas, references and lore, my favorite part is probably something like this. What is this, you might ask? This is a door to the building. It wasn't there before. The building was just a cube with windows, never to be accessed by imaginary inhabitants. Or this building, for example, also didn't have doors, but I added it. Or the windows themselves. In the original game, they were not windows at all. I fixed the texture and made them more size appropriate. There are tons of little fixes like this that don't deserve the full videos about them, but I just know it deep in my heart that a lot of you will appreciate it. Because we were browsing these streets for 24 years, goddammit, we know every corner. And every little detail that makes it more realistic warms a true GTA fan heart. I know it warmed mine. And speaking of heartwarming things, thank you so much for all positive comments, ideas and feedback. I mentioned Discord earlier and it's growing fast. We have amazing discussions about lore there, you give me fantastic ideas and I share my progress on adding them to the game on Discord first. So if you are a Discord man, I welcome you to our server. Link is in the description. And if you're not a Discord man, not to worry, I always post updates here on YouTube and I'm thankful for every view, like and subscribe. I'm also on Instagram and even TikTok for some reason, so you can follow me there just so you can see some GTA between silly prank videos and sketches or whatever it is you watch on these platforms. Anyway, thank you so much for your interest to my mod The Backstabbers Blues. First chapter is already available, link is in the description. Stay tuned, more updates are coming and I can't wait to share them with you. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you on the streets of Vice City.